we have any more questions? I see a hand up here. I'll ask to unmute.
And by the way, if you're in this Zoom, we've got your project. That's how we invited you to the Zoom.
All right, guys.
I think Mireya has a question.
Mireya has one? Okay, let's go to Mireya first.
Yeah, the last one. I would like to know, are we gonna know who are gonna speak with? So every person are gonna have one from?
Yes, you'll get a schedule a few days before the conference that'll say, por ejemplo, 10 a.m. you're with Film London, 10:30 you're with Fulana producer, 11 a.m. So you'll get before the conference a few days before a whole schedule of when you're supposed to.
All right, so I've had a full day, but I wanted to sit down with the camera and talk about my experience in Peru. I'll show a little bit of footage. Essentially what happened is that last year I was going through some different challenges, I had some different issues, and I just felt like I needed to grow as a person and as a believer. And I don't know how deep I'm gonna go into my faith on this YouTube channel and all that stuff, because that's kind of like a loaded burrito, like that's a whole thing to get into. But today I'll just talk about the Peru missions trip. It was $2,500 in total to go, and it was a mix of exploring Cusco and exploring a new country in Peru, but it was also service work, helping schools and orphanages, and working with Oración 24/7, prayer 24/7 in Cusco, Peru. And I raised the money, I did a fundraiser, I did a whole post about it, I was kind of posting it all over social media, and then I was able to go. I was able to get the funds, then I was gonna go. It was tough for me in the beginning. The first 25% of the trip, I was there from June 1st through the 11th, from Miami to Lima, then Lima to Cusco. And the altitude anxiety that I got was terrible. I was drinking cocoa tea, which is derived from the cocoa leaf, which cocaine is made out of. I felt like my body and my mind just wasn't agreeing with the cocoa tea, and that just led to some anxiety. And if I don't have like a proper exercise routine, and if I'm not kind of like burning off my ADHD, sleep can be an issue. And also sometimes if I have like too much caffeine, or I just feel like I'm not doing enough during the day, it's just gonna affect my sleep at night. That's at least how I feel about it. I don't know about you watching that or watching this video, kind of what your sleep routine or whatever is, but I've definitely had some sleep issues with ADHD and just being a person. So the first 25% of the trip was tough. There was like an initiation period, there was an adjustment, and then my health basically just improved when I got into my running, when I fell into my exercise routine, and I just became acclimated with everything. Doing the service work, helping kids who at times go hungry or have issues or were abused, sexually mistreated, something like that. All of that just felt very heavy to me. And I think Cusco is interesting because it's a lot more rugged and it's just different than America. And it was just a detox for me, away from electronics. And in total, I'd give the missions trip a 10 out of 10. It really impacted me in a way that I didn't really expect. And I would highly recommend planning a missions trip, even if you don't feel like you're there spiritually. I think you minister to people and then they really reach out to you. I also think it's important to do volunteering, period. I think when you're totally focused on making money and work in your own projects, it can sometimes be a little bit too much. And I think you can have a better set of eyes on your own projects and things like that when you're doing stuff for other people, and when you're putting yourself in environments that you're not really used to. So if it's mercy ships or Peace Corps or volunteering, I'm in South Florida, so it's like I see beach cleanups all the time or ocean cleanups. I think it's really helpful to volunteer. It's going to get you around a new set of people. You're going to learn new skills, and it's going to take your mind off of kind of like your day-to-day basis. And the mission trip just really was amazing. The Peruvian people are really warm in Cusco. I can't speak for Lima. I didn't really step out and explore it that much, but the people in Cusco were really cool. I didn't really have any safety issues. I was high up in the mountains. I was staying on a farm in the mountains. I would like to go back, but it's definitely an adjustment. I would be pounding the electrolytes and really be hydrating and taking care of yourself in the beginning and kind of prepare for some of the challenges. Again, I wasn't doing missionary work in Africa or India or in the slums or anything like that. I was in Cusco, Peru, but it's still an adjustment from South Florida. I think my favorite part of the trip, honestly, was the street evangelizing, the prayer walking, just asking people what kind of issues do they have in their life. It's amazing how people will open up to you, not even on a spiritual level, but just people need to vent sometimes, and people really opened up to us. People who were selling us ice cream would just be breaking down in tears, and people opened up to us in a really genuine way. And I think when you really talk to people on a one-on-one level and you really ask them what kind of issues do they have, it's amazing how people will open up to you. And that trip just kind of surprised me. And I was dealing with things that were heavier than I imagined, and I kind of had to rise to the occasion. But yeah, I would say in total it was a great experience. I want to go back. I want to bring some family and friends to Cusco and explore the bowl, the mountainous bowl, as they say in Cusco. Now that I'm back in South Florida, I immediately had to go to a Peruvian supermarket. I'm talking about Peru too much, but I'm just passionate about it right now, and it's led me to do all sorts of missionary research and things like that. But it's just really great. And I would say the biggest challenges with the trip were the people that I was with. It took a little bit to kind of understand everybody and get to know everybody's different personalities, kind of jive with them. The altitude and the anxiety and insomnia that happened to me in the first quarter of the trip. But then I was able to get through that, and I'm okay. So that's kind of like a quick rundown of everything that happened in Peru. Some people there got sick towards the end. They were having some sickness issues. I want to learn more about Peru. There's still a lot about the country I don't know. I don't know any Quechua. There's a lot about the Inca civilization I don't understand, but I want to go back. And I think doing some kind of mission work and kind of like mega volunteering trip is something that I want to do at least once a year. Now, from this point onward, what I plan on doing is kind of getting back to my own projects, volunteering at church, taking my faith more seriously, taking this YouTube channel and creating content and throwing myself out there more seriously, continuing to get myself in new environments. I think the number one advantage you're going to have when you get back from a mission trip is that hopefully it's going to teach you the value of hard work and working really hard, but then also just putting yourself in new environments with people that you just got to go up to and talk to and kind of break bread with. That's a really valuable skill in business and sales or anything else that you want to do. So that's a little bit about my trip to Cusco, Peru. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know any questions you have pertaining to the mission trip with Prayer 24/7 or Cusco, Peru. I'll provide the links below in this video. And that's kind of the vlog and everything that happened in Peru. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Tenemos Timothy.
Yes. Good to meet you. My name is Timothy.
Mucho gusto, mi nombre es Timoteo.
Yeah, I've had an amazing experience here in Cusco so far.
Ha sido una experiencia asombrosa acá en Cusco.
And this is really my first mission trip outside my country.
Es mi primer viaje de misiones afuera de mi país.
And I've learned a lot so far and tried to work hard.
Aprendí mucho, intenté a trabajar fuerte.
Yeah, and my favorite part so far has been the street evangelism.
Mi parte que me gustó más era salir en las calles.
It's very fun and interactive and exciting because you're meeting new people.
Es divertido, interactivo, porque puedes encontrar con otra gente.
But one experience recently this past week stuck out to me.
Pero una cosa que me habló mucho esta semana
I was with Allison and Danielle, and we are talking.
Estaba con Alison y Pastor Daniel y estábamos conversando.
We are talking with a street vendor who was selling something.
Estábamos hablando con un vendedor en la calle.
He was a very sweet old man.
Era un hombre muy lindo, viejo.
And I asked him, what can we pray for you about? What issues do you have?
Y le pregunté, ¿qué podemos orar por ti, Señor?
And he told us recently, I'm trying to remember the exact time, but recently he was just walking on the street and a car hit him.
Y nos contó hace un rato, hace un tiempo, estaba caminando en la calle y un carro le chocó.
He completely messed up his rib cage and his lower body.
Rompió sus costillas.
But despite the recovery and surgeries, he's back to work and he's selling.
Y aunque tenía mucho para recuperar, y ahora está de nuevo en las calles vendiendo sus cosas.
As soon as I heard that, I realized I have no excuse for some days when I have a bad attitude, and I don't have a hardship nearly as hard as that.
Y él estaba lleno de gozo y me da cuenta que no tengo excusa para tener una actitud malo cuando estoy pasando por cosas.
I think in that moment, he actually taught me something, that no matter what, we have to keep being persistent and turn to God during the hardship.
Este Señor me enseñó, no importa qué pasamos, tenemos que seguir enfocando en Dios.
Ministry is great because sometimes the people we're ministering to you can actually minister to us and help us.
Para salir en las calles, hacer este ministerio es muy bueno, pero a veces las personas salimos con la expectativa que vamos a ministrar a ellos, pero ellos a veces pueden ministrar a nosotros también.
So that was a great moment for me. Thank you guys.
Un gran momento para mí. Gracias a ustedes.